Okay, and keep fingers crossed. I'm using a new computer today, so
Oh,
Oh, good.
cool. Congratulations.
thank you.
Sometimes it is and sometimes it.
Oh,
Okay, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
For the record.
Yeah, good idea.
Then now we know where we are.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Wow, Barry.
Yeah.
Very
Wow.
fun.
well,
Moving from the abstract to a little more realism, but similar.
well, it's just that same palette.
Yeah.
And I saw this picture of these three girls dancing.
Mm.
They all had bright colored skirts and blouses and hats and jewelry and stuff, but I kind of liked the movement and thought, well, I wonder if that'll work in this palette, and that's the result, and I'm pretty happy with it.
Fabulous.
Yeah, looks happy.
When did you do this, Barry?
2 weeks ago,
Oh,
Mm.
since
love-
the last meeting.
I love
Oh.
I love the way you're going. Are these symbolic of something, the corner things? Do they symbolize something? Or should I ask?
Well, on the other two, which were more tribal, I used some tribal signs and tools and stuff like that. This one, I just I put my little seat in again. That are sort of my signature for what I've used for these, where I sit and watch people
Is
what's
this it
going
right
on.
here?
Yeah,
Okay, I get it.
I fooled you, Joan. I put it on the other side this time.
That's
Look at the other
what,
one.
yeah, that is what fooled me.
And these others, I just added, added a few lines in a circle up here. I didn't want to put too much in, take away from the movement.
Yeah.
You know, these are so three-dimensional, all of them.
Mhm.
And I always feel like I see, I don't know, metal almost.
I think that's the photograph, the light on the photograph, and this is on canvas board,
Right.
which probably had a couple of paintings underneath it, and so there's
Yeah.
quite a lot of texture, and it just catches the light differently, which gives it that impact. Yeah, look,
And gives you more depth too.
yeah, which is pretty cool.
It actually, yeah, enriches the whole thing. Yeah, I was thinking this almost fooled me because it looks like a #1 in Chinese. So I thought you were going to put Chinese languages around the corner.
Maybe that's my first lesson in Chinese.
I love the composition is really beautiful.
Yeah.
Great work. Keep going, Barry.
Thank you. Will
Really
do.
nice.
Well, I'm almost out of paint.
Do you need a donation?
No.
So joy.
Oh, joy.
Oh, joy. Wow.
Recalling the past.
Joy sent an earlier work and a newer work. So this is the earlier one. I believe we saw this long ago, Joy.
No, this other one. Actually, I failed this one, and I put somewhere and almost forgot. When my friend come here, and she found it. She said, "Wow, this one is better than the other one you think is good." Okay, and I asked her friend and a professor in China, and make create a name for this for this
Oh,
paper.
yeah. That's nice.
What city is that?
I don't know. I
don't know.
I don't know.
It looks like a city.
That's right. Yes, this is like recalling the past. It's like 1930s, 40s.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, all the manufacturing.
Yeah.
And like yeah, the
That's
abstract
lovely.
is yeah. Many things just a coincidence, just made accidentally, and I don't know.
Well, accidentally is the best kind. Now, what I love is the variety, because down here you're using like just streaks of wet and wet. And then up here I see you drop some paint and let it just disperse.
The water, yeah.
So you have
Mhm.
different kinds of techniques going on with your water media.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then these are more dry here. Yeah. Good contrast.
Thank you.
Really
That's
nice.
beautiful.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So much depth too. Yeah.
Mhm.
You feel like you're going way back.
Really nice one.
Thank you.
Right.
You did this
Wow.
a few weeks ago, you said, Joy, a few weeks ago?
Yes, yeah. Last month I
Okay.
just painted for fun. I like the old stuff.
Oh,
And
yeah. Oh, lots of people do.
yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
Thank
Joy,
you.
did
Oh
you
my
draw it
God.
first? Did you draw it first, Joy, or did you go right in with paint?
I draw first.
Yeah, okay.
Actually, I found this photo from somewhere, but
Uh-huh.
I didn't know what kind of car or truck pickup, and I just like that rusty
Yeah.
looking, and yeah, they also leave some original blue on it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well, it sure does look old and rusty.
it does.
Yes, and my neighbor, he is a car lover.
Oh,
And
lovely.
I asked him to find this car, which year, what name, and he's not sure. He just gave me this car's name very close. I just put a name. This is
Cool.
International Harvester 36.
yes, this is Study Baker.
Oh, Studebaker.
Yeah.
Oh,
Studebaker,
Studebaker.
yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah. And
What-
I went to a car show last Saturday. I found a similar car like this style. I just, yeah.
Yeah, I love that rusty look. The only
texture.
thing that I wonder about, what is all this purple stuff at the bottom? Was it
Yeah, and the photo was many junks behind and at the bottom. So I just I couldn't do it. It's hard. So I I wash it away and
Oh,
so
okay.
okay.
All right.
Looks like I finished it.
Well, it's pretty effective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you use
you.
salt in there?
What, Suzanne?
Did you use salt in the lower part?
No, I didn't. I didn't. The button I just wash it away. I painted before and use a credit card and scratch.
Mhm. Really effective.
Well, you
Thank
know,
you.
you're showing off your mastery of the watercolor technique with the way you
Oh,
the way
wow.
the way you apply everything so loose.
Yeah.
You know what to
Yeah.
tighten up, and the
Mhm.
colors just are like magic the way you play with them. I think you really have come a long way, Joy. You're there.
Yeah, sometimes I paint something for fun. I relax to paint, and the result is better than I
Much
Yeah.
expect.
absolutely.
And thank you. When I want to do serious work, and that when it's getting worse.
Don't be working seriously anymore. Okay.
Okay. All
fun.
right.
Throw caution to the wind.
Okay.
Very
Yeah, I remember you told me just for fun.
Just for fun. Who cares?
Okay.
You're the artist. You do what you want.
Yeah.
Yes, you're right.
Well, thank you for sending this, Joy. Lovely. Keep going. Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Wow.
Now, let's see. Somehow, I knew I wouldn't get away without a glitch. Let me get out of here first.
There we go.
There's
Okay.
one way to do it.
There you go.
Let's see. What I wanted was this one here.
Mhm. Oh, wow.
Is Linda here yet?
She isn't.
She is not.
Mm.
We'll wait and see if she shows up. And yeah, because I have lots of questions. She starts off with this form here first, and then I'm wondering if she lays a copper plate or copper sheet on top to build it up,
Mm.
and then there's some chemical, or I forget, it's not a chemical, but it's something you put to get this tarnished look. Like, because I've done a little bit of copper work way back when, and then it's also she's got a light going on, so that's a daytime view and a nighttime view.
She also
Well,
looks
she does a lot of that where she puts glass stuff in and so the
Yeah.
lights, so she can light them up. Yeah.
She
Oh.
also looks like she did some hammering on the surface.
Yeah, but it's not like it's solid metal.
Right.
Or anything. It's a facade more or less on top of the form.
Oh.
Yeah.
Mm.
Anyway,
Mm.
here's hoping she'll show up
It's
later.
probably on a wooden box. She used a lot of boxes first
Hmm.
of some sort, and then works on top of them.
Oh.
Has she shown this at the Wednesday meeting?
Not this particular one, but a very similar one this last week.
Mm.
It's pretty big, 32 by 36.
Yeah,
I didn't know she was so talented.
she
Yeah.
does a lot. It's been quite fascinating what she does.
I'm becoming more impressed every time I see something of hers. Yeah.
Yeah. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
And Miss Laurie, this
Oh,
is
wow, love it.
Oh, Lori.
That's
Oh.
neat.
Thank you. Looks like you flipped me around a number of ways to look at it. That's interesting that you did that.
well, what do you have to say? I'll let you go first.
So this is a piece that's part of my series of 3 pieces I'm doing for the Creative Visioning program. And it's on a wood panel. And I actually, I mean, I don't want to tell you how many different iterations of this painting are underneath it, from complete realism to different colors. So it's got a lot of layers underneath it and some collage. And I was painting it in the direction of the small one on the lower right. Somehow I saw a figure on a Vespa. And so that's how I was painting it for a long time.
Like this one here, excuse me, like the
Very lower right.
this one.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
started like that. Okay.
Yeah. And I was kind of lost with what to do with the part just above on the upper right of it. And then I flipped it to the direction of the large one, and I saw the figure in a different way.
Absolutely.
You're looking at the back of her, and she's kind of looking down and in. And I decided that I preferred the more abstract view of her like that. And so that's how I finished it, working with it that way. And I've noticed that a number of the pieces I've been doing are of figures that are either faceless or are looking away. So I don't know if that's a theme going on with me right now, but that's what I have to say right now. Working,
I'm not sure you want to hear what I see. I mean, everybody's got a different way of looking.
I'm happy to hear whatever you see.
Well, having flipped it around 4 different ways now, what I'm seeing is that what really jumps out at me is this big pink fig, and you know it's a head and a body, okay? So no matter which one I look at, I see a woman laying this way, laying that, a head and a body. And what disturbs me, I guess, not only does it jump out, but it's just that the form is not very, to me, the form, if you're trying to think of it as a human being, realism attached to it. But then if you're trying to think of it as abstract,
Right.
this form is not really that appealing to me. I wonder if it couldn't be either thinned down or muted, because all you see is it bothers me. I see this, it's bad enough she doesn't have a head, just the little black, but the black works in the abstract nature of everything else. But this body seems to be just plopped in there, and something needs to happen, I think. Either the dimensions, the form of it is just too blobby pink. So that really disturbs me. No matter which way I turned it, all I saw was this pink body, and I think
Okay, so that, yeah, that's the bullseye that needs to maybe be muted down a little bit.
maybe even
Mhm.
here. You know how
Yeah.
maybe the
I'm a-
small of the back could be indented a little, just something to make it look more than just a blob. Okay.
Well, but I wasn't when I realized it was no longer my figure,
Uh-huh.
I think what I need to do there is just push it back a little and see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, with a little bit of glazing.
How does everybody else feel?
I
Yeah,
agree. I agree. I love the figure the way you've got it on the big one.
Yeah.
But then that does make me think, what is the pink? Is it a cushion? Is it what does
Yeah.
it tell me what it is? And if I didn't see the other flipped ways,
mhm,
it doesn't bother me as much as having seen the first way you did it. So in my
right.
mind, I see a pink body. If I hadn't seen those, I would have seen your nice figure the way you've got it, and just wondered what that pink was. So yes, I think you're right. Just put it back a bit.
Okay.
I
Thank you.
know, I see a body that's on the right and the
Yes.
head's on top of it. And then like the pink is a hill and the yellow is a
Uh-huh.
hill.
Uh-huh.
And then there's like a road up here at the top. See that green part
Yeah.
disappearing into wherever. But that's how my brain is. We're seeing it. Everyone's seeing it different. But
That's cool. I
like
like that.
like she's looking off into the distance. She's
That's
sitting
kind of how
here.
I saw it. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's like other things going on, but that's just popped out at me when I saw it.
That's
But
how
it's
I saw it too.
it's whatever people see is,
Yeah.
that's what's happening.
Does the pink bother you maybe it needs to be glazed down a little, do you think? I need to push it
I
back?
really didn't notice it that much because I was concentrating on the body over here and
Uh-huh.
and thinking about a hill and maybe it was had flowers on it or something,
Uh-huh.
in the abstract it was
Right.
all blended, so I don't know, it doesn't really bother me that much, but I could see where if you were looking at it from a different angle, it would.
What was Suzanne, speaking of which, Lori, back to this one, your original version here,
Yeah.
Mhm.
that fits my eye better than this one. This one looks like
Yes,
there's a big
Right.
jumping in from
agree.
the left.
Yeah.
But this one,
Right.
it's not as egregious, okay?
Probably because I painted it in that direction.
And then also
Mhm.
your beautiful abstractness, the work you did with the abstract behind it
Uh-huh.
shows up more. I see that more in this version. In this version, all I see is this big pink.
Mhm.
So maybe you
So
might,
maybe I have to decide which way I want it flipped.
yeah. But anyway, that's
Thank you.
okay.
That's great feedback. Thank you.
Okay, and then the next one is work in progress.
Really work in progress. It's very rough.
Oh, yeah.
Whip.
So again, there's multiple paintings underneath it.
Mhm.
So, kind of working off of the first painting and then kind of going in close up with her from the back. And I don't know where it's going yet, so.
Mhm.
Well, today is the first day I've seen the back of I guess it's a geisha girl, the Japanese dancers or something. This almost looks like a geisha girl in a kimono. Okay,
Interesting.
that
Uh-huh.
might be a good thing to consider because
Mhm.
you've got this big black thing that was a head in the other painting.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
So maybe if you could consider, I like this part because I can visualize a kimono or something.
Yeah, I can. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe this big black thing that is not working. It's pulling your eye up here in this corner. You're not seeing all the rest of the work. You see
Mhm.
this stuff you have going on here, maybe you could sort of replicate it a little bit over on the left side. And
Yeah.
make this big black thing go away. It's just,
Well,
it's not,
yeah, like I said, it's really,
Uh-huh.
really rough. I mean, you see it after 30 minutes of painting.
yeah, yeah.
So, I don't, yeah, I have to think about where it's going. I like the input though, and what you're seeing.
Okay. All right.
So I'll show it next time and see where it's going to.
Looking
Mhm.
forward to that. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, sure. Now, in honor of Suzanne's work that we're going to see today, I did check it out just to validate how important it is to doodle. We've talked about doodling before, and there is when you Google, the point is a doodle, which is defined as an aimless sketch, design, or scribble. What's good is that it says down here, while other forms of art therapy like coloring books may provide an outlet, doodling allows the doodler to find calm in a way that doesn't require staying within the lines. And then I like this part, doodling is more of a spontaneous art form. It says, where one can experience their own innate creativity. At the same time, doodling is more than just a mindless and frivolous activity or distraction. It can help access the body's healing wisdom and allow your spirit to rest, recover, and recoup. So Suzanne should be reaping benefits from these doodles. In fact, Barry, what's the name of our famous artist that on the Papa John or what?
I call him Thomas, but he doesn't
Papa
like
Bruce.
being called.
Okay, Bruce. A lot of his ink things while he's at the meeting and he's scribbling, that is somewhat of a form of doodling, and I see that there are benefits to it. So here's Suzanne's.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's a work in progress.
Okay.
I wish the photograph was better because that paper is actually white, so
Oh.
it turned sort of brownish yellow when I took the picture. But it's not done. I never know when it's done, but somehow all of a sudden I go, oh, it's finished.
Yeah.
And I've been doodling ever since I can remember as a kid, all through my life, just, sitting there doodling, making abstract designs. So, and the fact when I injured my back, it was the only thing I could do that was, and it's very healing, like it says.
Yeah.
And it takes your mind away. It's like almost a meditation. So you're not thinking, you're just, so that's where I am now. This is the third one. And now I have figures in it, like there's a little fish.
Yeah.
Before it was just, there was nothing going on except just forms. So, and not sure what this pink is. I thought maybe it was a person. Part of it's cut off down here.
Yeah, it looks like, yeah.
This here?
I don't know. And then it ended up not having a face. And so I try not to think about it too much, but until I'm done.
Yeah. Well,
but I almost, because the vertebrae on my back was what was injured. I seem to see some vertebrae in there, like spines.
Yeah.
Floating around, but I'm definitely not as much pain as I was before.
Good.
So I can see that in it too now, but it's very soothing, very healing.
It has kind of an underwater feeling.
Yeah.
The fish and
Mhm.
seaweed and algae and stuff growing. I mean, it does look underwatery, and yeah. Just I think it could use some more details, so you're not finished. So
No, I'm not finished. I don't know where it's gonna go. I
Good.
might fill in some more color in here, have it and not just have it blank. So I'm not sure yet.
yeah. Well, so far so good. As long
Thank you.
as it's helps.
Yeah, I started working on another thing because I got this little mini computer thing. It's on a hinge attached to a table, so I can do more work now. So I brought in a bunch of photographs from my other computer, and I'm doing sort of a day in a life of all these photographs that I've accumulated, and I will put it to music because I use GarageBand for my music. So it's fun. but I'm actually able to concentrate more better now. So it's good.
Good. Glad you're feeling a little better. Okay.
Thank you.
Me, I went to the Oceanside Pier for the first time in years because I
Wow.
used to go fishing there, but it's so windy these days. You know, I believe it's that global warming where every day the wind is whipping. And so I really enjoyed it because the minute you park by that restaurant 333 in the metered parking and you approach the pier, everybody is about 12 times slower than the normal world that we're used to. Everybody is in relaxed mode. I mean, it's like there's not a care in the world and you're in a different time zone. And
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. And I did try to find something to bring home that might be used. So this is the original photograph, which I kind of like. It makes me feel relaxed and calm. And it's what I feel when I'm on the pier. This is the calming effect of it. But I am trying to work up a little bit more. This little boy is actually, his face is showing here, but I did get a shot of him looking away. And I'm trying to work on something, but this is just a beginning where I got rid of this fishing pole that was sitting here. And I like I said, it's work in progress, but I kind of like the way that he looks like a little boy it's a little illustrative, I suppose, this pose right here.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Sort of like a timeless, thing.
Yeah.
Kids fishing, could be anywhere.
I love that. I love
Yeah.
it. I used to go fishing on that pier when I was a kid with a drop line with my dad was a big fisherman person. And so my brother and I were down there with him a lot. So yeah, I know exactly what you mean. It takes you away somewhere else.
Yeah,
It's lovely.
those were the days when the wind wasn't whipping.
Yeah.
And then there's a certain couple of weeks in the summer when you have to catch mackerel, because when the mackerel are running, I mean, that one day I was there, people had ice chests and you put your line in the water and you've got 3 mackerel on there if you've got 3.
Wow.
And they were just filling up ice chests because the mackerel they're so happy. I'm happy they fight so much, and it was very exciting, but I haven't been able to find the time they were running. And plus I don't like the breeze blowing all the time.
Yeah, that would be hard. There's no protection there.
Yeah. And then unfortunately I walked to the end of the pier and did anybody ever hear that rubies at the end of the pier burned down?
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
Oh,
How could you miss
yeah.
it?
Oh,
That was
yes.
a big thing.
Really? Was it a year ago or less?
No, recently,
Yeah.
Oh,
a
recently?
few months ago.
Yeah.
Right.
Actually,
Oh.
it was in April, maybe the 3rd week of April, I think.
Oh, as recently as that.
Yes, yeah. So and then the pier was closed for a number of weeks. So, and then now the pier is open.
The pier is open, but there is a big sign at the very end that blocks you from going into this area. It just,
Right,
Oh, yeah.
thank you for your patience while we reconstruct and all of that.
right.
What a shocker that was.
Yep.
Oh,
They think it was a kitchen fire.
oh, okay.
Yeah, really, it looks like a skeleton now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, it's so sad. I love that restaurant.
Yeah, the food was really good.
Of course,
Yeah.
it's been closed for a long time.
Yeah, it has.
Okay.
Hmm.
A lot of good memories from that place.
Mm.
Now, I was in Orange, California, which is about an hour and a half north of here, visiting the Hilbert Museum, which is a part of the Chapman University. And I know I'm always talking about the Metrolink because on the weekends for $10, you can go anywhere up and down and across on the Metrolink, including they have a stop in Orange. The address of the Hilbert Museum is right here in Orange, California. The beauty of it is that it's a small town and it's very historical. There are lots of old parts of the city. And when you get off on the Metrolink, if you had a Saturday, for example, with nothing to do, you pay $10 and you just wait till you get to Orange. It's really easy to find Chapman. It's easy to find the Hilbert Museum. And it really is worth a leisurely day trip to a beautiful museum. They've just expanded. They now have 2 buildings, which offer 26 galleries for
Wow,
rotating displays of more than 5,000 watercolors illustrated.
wow.
Yeah.
It's
They have-
amazing.
They have a permanent Norman Rockwell exhibit in their museum. But I just have about 3 or 4 slides to show you the kind of work that's going on there. And it really is worth it. And someday when I feel like going to Orange, I'll go back because they're always changing the visiting rotating gallery. So if you did Google hilbertmuseum.org, you'll read all about it. That's my sharing today, and hope
Good. Thank you.
trying to get people to enjoy, because they are emphasizing growth and expansion.
That's amazing. It sounds huge.
And the what do you call the ladies that show you around? I'm missing that word. Docents.
Yeah.
They've got docents galore. They're all over. You stand there looking at something and they're there to help. And it's a very, very user-friendly gallery. Now, right now they're featuring an artist called Millard Sheets, and they really feature, excuse me, let me go back. It says that it's one of the world's largest collections of California narrative art. So their emphasis is on art in California. I read something about Pomona. I think, well, you can read it later. I don't want to stall the video, but here. One of the most important American artists of the 20th century, Millard Owen Sheets, was born in 1907 in Pomona, California. Has anybody ever heard of him? I never have.
Yes,
Yeah.
he's very well known in the California. Yeah.
Now,
He-
this big mural that's in front of the building, it used to hang in front of the Home Savings in Santa Monica. And I guess Home Savings went out of business and they've transported that entire mural over to Chapman University. And here are 3 of his works that I thought were outstanding for technique and watercolor. The only thing I didn't understand is how he seemed to go backwards. His oldest stuff is the loosest, and it got a little bit tighter and more conventional as he got more older. So here's a watercolor in 1928. And it says loosely and quickly painted. It's an earlier work. Okay, it's a study for a series of paintings that marked the start of his professional career. I just love how loose this. It's almost like that card that Joy just drew. Joy, your painting of the watercolor.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
it's just,
Really pretty abstract too.
I
mean,
love
Yes.
it. I don't
yeah,
know why I love loose, but this is how Joy would sketch in her people in there, just little touches. And then from 1928, here's one for 1956. Anybody been to the Hollywood Bowl?
Yep,
I-
yep, I've been there.
We used to bring our picnic dinners and go there, and this is a masterpiece. I mean,
It is really,
you should have stopped right here. It's watercolor on board. And it's like something Joy would have done, you know, all this loose stuff and sketching in the little figures here with just a dab here and there, and the way things are washed out and accentuated. I mean, I think this is just a masterpiece
Mhm.
of watercolor technique. And then from 1956, we go to 1970. I like this least. Watercolor on paper. So a ceaseless traveler, he visited 30 countries. He was given a retrospective exhibition at the Laguna Beach Museum of Art. Nearly half of the 98 paintings were of other countries. He visited Japan on several occasions where he painted and held classes in watercolor art. So
It's such a different style. I mean, it's not, I wouldn't even say that it's tighter, though it is, but it's still, it's almost like, you know, you would have thought it might have been gouache or acrylic, if you know. So he used more saturated paint.
Well, you know how Gauguin uses this heavy,
Mhm.
rich colors and paint. This sort of reminds me of that, but
It does, yes.
and last but not least, I found this painting was fascinating. I mean, I love it. Look at this. The shadow on the road.
oh, wow.
Mhm.
Mhm.